I look down at my bank statement, and then I look up at God. God, if I'm meant to do this, if I'm really, really meant to do this, then please give me a sign. It was February 2020, and I had been out of work for 5 months. Now, most people would say that's unemployed. I prefer working on my startup. You see, 5 months before that, I left my well-paid, comfortable corporate job to become an unpaid, uncomfortable entrepreneur. And most people who knew me thought I was insane because I had it all. I had the holy trifecta. I had the MBA. I had the McKinsey experience. I was even a lawyer. I was definitely useless. Not only that, my startup was in a field that no one understood, mental health. My mom asked me whether I was the patient. But I knew something that they didn't. I had a message straight from God. And it came to me as I was standing at the check-in desk of the Sofitel Hotel in Ho Chi Minh City. And I had stayed at the Sofitel so often that they knew my name. But this time, Miss Tran, behind the counter, as she slid me the registration form, on it was written, guest name, Mrs. Adeline, bracket G-O-D. I looked again. That's what it said, Mrs. Adeline God. So I put on my most humble voice and I say, Tran, I'm really not God. But she insisted, yes, you are. Guest of day. Now, most people would just take that as world-class guest experience by the Sofitel, but not me. I recognized that this was a message straight from God, and I just had to figure out what it was. So one thing that's divine about being guest of day at the Sofitel is they upgrade you to a suite. Now, not the presidential suite, that's reserved for a higher level, but as I was walking to my suite, I took out my phone to call my daughter in Singapore. Hey, Mia, from now on, you don't call me mommy, okay? You have to call me God. And she replied, I'm busy now, bye, click. Did she just hang up on God? Now, most people would take that as a 3-year-old being a 3-year-old, but not me. In that click, I heard the message loud and clear. I wasn't a God to who really mattered. And so I went to my boss and told him I wanted to quit. And he said, okay, a little bit too quickly. And he even gave me 6 months severance pay. Now, most people would take that as he was glad to get rid of me, but not me. I understood that God was going to make me a successful entrepreneur within 6 months. And a short while later, a Messiah arrived via email. I received an unsolicited email from a business guru who was going to mentor me. But he's very selective about who he'll work with. So I had to answer 3 questions. Are you ambitious? Yes. Are you clueless? Yes. Do you have more dollars than common sense? Yes. Within the first month, I was scammed of $20,000. A big chunk of that money. Turns out he was no son of God, he was son of a bitch. Now, most people would take that as a sign that I wasn't cut out for this, but not me. I knew that I should press on because he didn't take all my money. So I pressed on. Every rejection, every refusal, every request for refund, it's just part of a bigger plan. And then one day, I got a message straight from the God of DBS telling me that my money was going to run out in 1 month. So unless I could double my sales in the next 30 days, that was it. I was going to have to find a job. And that was when I looked to God and I said, please, God, if I'm meant to do this, if I'm really, really meant to do this, then send me a sign. And the next day, it arrived. Just one word on a piece of paper. But this time, not G-O-D. This time, C-O-V-I-D. Yes, President Trump, I caused COVID. Within days, the market for mental health explodes. Our sales don't just double or triple, it grows 5 times. And now, in 2025, the sign on our door says, still in business. Friends, let me leave you with this. Why this story? Why tonight? Why you? Could someone be sending you a sign?